Good afternoon and welcome to the Gallery TV News Update. I am Titilayo Olamide and here are the reports for today. Superior force needed to win war against terrorism, banditry, says General AYOOLA. Nigeria's armed forces need superior forces to overcome the various security challenges facing the country, especially Boko Haram in the northeast. This is according to a former chief of Defense Research and Development, Major General Henry AYOOLA, retired, who stated this on Monday during an interview on the TV. AYOOLA, who is also a former commander of the Operation Safe Haven in Nigeria's north-central region, said with the combination of more personnel, arms, and strategic training, several security threats can be effectively tackled. The country has been battling terrorism for more than a decade, which has killed 36,000 people and displaced hundreds of thousands in the northeast. The Islamic State of West African Province split from the jihadist group Boko Haram in 2016 and has since become a dominant trend in Nigeria, attacking troops and bases while killing and kidnapping passengers at bogus checkpoints. On March 1st, jihadist fighters burnt down a United Nations humanitarian compound in the town of Dikwa after dislodging troops, killing 6 civilians. Nigeria's jihadist violence has spread to neighboring Chad, Cameroon, and Niger, prompting a regional military coalition to fight the insurgents. And on news, Lagos to feed school children with 11 billion naira. The Lagos state government on Monday said 11 billion naira had been budgeted for its Snacks for Thought program. It explains that the Snacks for Thought program was created to complement the homegrown school feeding program of the federal government, which covered only pupils in Primary 1 to Primary 3. The government added that its feeding program would take care of the pupils at the crèche in Primary 4 to 6. The special advisor of the Office of the Civic Engagement, Princess Aderemi Adebowale, made this known on Monday during the ministerial press briefing commemorating the second-year anniversary of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in Alausa, Ikeja. Adebowale stated that a report by UNICEF in 2018 showed that an estimated 264 pupils were out of schools in Lagos State. The special advisor also said over 2,200 indigent pregnant mothers across 11 local government areas of the state had benefited from the state's Mother, Infant, and Child program aimed at assisting underprivileged pregnant women in the state. Plus, House of Reps to begin zonal hearing for constitution review in June. The House of Representatives Special Committee on Constitution Review has fixed 1st and 2nd of June 2021 for its zonal public hearings across the 6 geopolitical zones. The committee has therefore invited the general public, executive and judicial bodies, traditional institutions, political parties, civil society organizations, professional bodies, and all other stakeholders. The Deputy Speaker, who is also the chairman of the special committee, said each zone will have 2 centers. Ahmed Wasser added that Jos will host the North Central Zone with Plateau, Benue, Nasarawa State, and FCT in attendance, while Lokoja will serve as the 2nd center with Kogi, Niger, and Kwara states. The Northeast has Bauchi Center, which is made up of Bauchi, Borno, and Yobe states, while Yola Center has Adamawa, Taraba, and Gombe states. The Northwest Center is in Benin Kebbi, with Kebbi, Zamfara, and Sokoto states, while Kano Center will hold on 2nd and 3rd of June with Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, and Jigawa states. The Southeast, which has Enugu Center, will host Enugu, Anambra, and Ebonyi states, while Owerri Center will host Imo and Abia states. The Southwest is a center in Akure will host Ondo, Ekiti, and Osun states, while Lagos Center will host Lagos, Oyo, and Ogun states. The South-South zone will hold in Asaba Center on 2nd and 3rd June, comprising Delta, Bayelsa, and Edo states, while Uyo Center holds on 1st and 2nd June with Akwa Ibom, Rivers, and Cross River states. The Deputy Speaker appealed to members of the committee to always put Nigeria first. And with this, we move to the foreign scene. 10 countries administered 75% of total COVID-19 vaccine, says WHO. Dr. Tedros, World Health Organization WHO Director General, says COVID-19 vaccines are administered in only 10 countries, describing the ongoing vaccine crisis as a scandalous inequity that is perpetuating the pandemic. In his address to 74th World Health Assembly, he said there was no diplomatic way to describe vaccine inequality. According to him, COVAX has shipped roughly 72 million doses to some 125 developing nations, but those vaccines represent barely 1% of their combined populations. The Director General reported more COVID-19 cases in 2021 than 2020, almost 18 months into the defining health crisis of our age. The world remains in a dangerous situation. In addition, Dr. Tedros said although none of the COVID-19 variants had significantly undermined current vaccines, the virus was constantly changing. The Director General said every country could do more, including increasing surveillance and testing, protecting health workers, and fighting against misinformation. The Director General pushed for countries to vaccinate at least 10% of the global population by September, with a drive to reach 30% by December. The World Health Organization Director General also highlighted a proposal by the International Monetary Fund (IMF) to vaccinate 40% of the world's people by the end of the year and 60% by 2022. He also welcomed countries' commitment to donate doses, including announcements made by G20 nations at their health summit last Friday. He urged vaccine manufacturers to ensure countries could quickly share their doses through COVAX. World Health Organization Assembly (WHA) is WHO's highest decision-making body and is attended by delegations from all around the world. The 74th session WHA, which is holding virtually, will run from Monday, May 24th to Tuesday, June 1st, 2021. And still on the foreign scene, prostitutes now accepting beans and maize as payment for their services. Prostitutes in Dema Growth Point, Zimbabwe, are reportedly now accepting buckets of maize and cups of beans as payment from their cash-strapped male clients. Some of the sex workers who spoke to New Zimbabwe appealed to the government and other organizations for low-interest loans to start income-generating projects to fend for their starving families. One of the sex workers who only identified herself as Ali said, "Gone are the days where we used to charge $5 for the whole night. These days, even $1 is accepted so that you are able to buy vegetables and tomatoes and cook something for your starving children." Alice disclosed that she has 3 children, one of which is in Form 4. The child needs Zimbabwe Schools Examination Council registration fees, while the other kids are in grade 7 and grade 1. Another sex worker, only identified as Mavis, said she could have opted to be a housekeeper. She, however, said locals don't pay. The sex workers who spoke to the publication were attending a key affected populations workshop meant to find ways of reducing HIV/AIDS and sexually transmitted infections (STIs). The seminar was convened by the National AIDS Councils at Dema Growth Point. And with this, we move to entertainment news. EFCC adopts social media challenge in fight against corruption. The Economic Financial Crimes Commission has embraced entertainment in its bid to create awareness on the fight against corruption. The Crimes Unit rolled out the hashtag Together Against Corruption challenge on social media, calling on all talented youth to create catchy content that promotes the fight against corruption. The EFCC uploaded a musical beat on its Twitter page and asked creatives to join in the hashtag Together Against Corruption challenge. Participants had to download the beat, then employ it in creating dance, drama, rap songs, and poems. After the creation of any of the performing acts, participants had to upload their videos on all social media platforms, tagging the EFCC official handles. The EFCC has been employing different methods to fight against corruption in the country, ranging from partnerships to the newly announced challenge. Plus, Empire star Grace Gray sentenced to jail for domestic violence. American actor Beresford Gray, who played the role of Akeem Lion in the first Empire series, has been reported to have entered a guilty plea in his domestic violence case. As part of his plea agreement, per the latest report, Gray will be required to spend a brief period in jail. Complex.com reports that Gray pleaded guilty to felony aggravated assault. He has also been sentenced to spend 10 days in county jail, in addition to being required to participate in a probation program for 3 years. Additionally, Gray is said to have been ordered to pay restitution and enroll in a domestic violence offender treatment program. Other related charges, according to court records viewed by Complex, were dismissed. And now on sport news. Titan Farms partners Oyo Swan on sports development. As part of its efforts at contributing to the growth of sport in the state, the Titan Farms has partnered with Sports Writers Association of Nigeria SWAN Oyo State Chapter. This was sealed on Monday during the courtesy visit of the leadership of SWAN and presentation of congratulatory message to the CEO, Chief Benga Eyolawi, on his installation as Kebimapalu 1 of Ibadan land. Earlier in his remarks, Chairman of Oyo State Chapter of SWAN, Comrade Ni Alebioshu, having commended the CEO for his foresight and plans to take sport in the state to greater heights, assured him of the support of the association. He further commended him for his humanitarian gesture towards the people of the state and urged him not to relent in his efforts. While responding, Eyolawi disclosed that his company would explore all avenues to contribute to the growth of sports in the state, adding that they had wanted to do something on polo, but it didn't, and expressed hope that this relationship with SWAN will fly. Meanwhile, to mark the 1-year anniversary of the company, planned has been concluded on a 5-a-side football match between his company and SWAN, scheduled for this Sunday. Plus, don't blame me for your failure, and Amokachi replies Lawal. Former Super Eagles assistant coach Daniel Amokachi has replied Rahim Lawal over an allegation that he was unfairly dropped from the 2013 African Cup of Nations winning squad, saying the midfielder was not in the right state for selection into the title winning team. Lawal had alleged on his Instagram story that Amokachi dropped him from the squad because he was not among the players the coach planned to sell after the tournament in South Africa. But reacting to Lawal's claim, Amokachi praised the 31-year-old for his talent, but advised the midfielder not to blame someone else for his failure. The former Everton forward also added that both Joseph Yobo and Emmanuel Emenike had also had football issues with the technical crew, but they were all resolved. And with this, we've come to the end of the Gallery News Bulletin this hour. Don't forget to join us by 4 p.m. for yet another update. Thanks for watching. Do have a lovely day.
In life, you can never be too sure who to trust. This is the story of Mrs. Ungazi. Mrs. Ungozi just wants to use the ATM.
Good afternoon, Mama. Let me help you out to your withdrawal. You don't need to stress yourself.
Thank you, but I can handle it myself.
The man is just being kind, right? He just wants to help, right? Wrong. All he needs is a good look at the pin. Will he succeed?
To my IG fans, I say, sorry.
Do not share your card PIN with anyone. Keep your account information private and ensure no one is watching you while you enter your PIN. UBA, Africa's global bank.